Hello everyone, welcome to the channel. My name is Shaneria and this is Talking Crime. On today's video, I am going to do a reaction at the end of the video, but I'm going to let this video play out so you can hear the story. Don't forget to like and subscribe.
Story time about when I was 16, how this R. Kelly ass nigga got me and my best friend pregnant at the same time. Now, mind you, I was kind of apprehensive about telling this story because, I didn't want to put all my business out in the streets. But at this point, all my friends know this story. A lot of people know this story. And 80% of the people in this story have passed away. R.I.P. to everybody that's passed away. So, boom, let's start from the beginning. When I was 15 going on 16, I lived in New York, but I was wildin'. Now, as an adult, I can see, I was wildin'. Back then, I thought, girl, I'm doing regular teenage stuff, and my mother was just dragging it. But now that I think about it, I was cutting school. I had niggas in the crib when my mother was at work. I was doing a lot. She had a PINS warrant against me. If you from New York, you know what a PINS warrant is. I still was fucking up with the PINS warrant to the point where she violated me on a PINS warrant and they was about to send me to Spofford. Now, mind you, my mother knew I was not built for that life. I was not built for Spofford. I was not about that life at all. So she felt bad, and her and my father signed away custody for me to go and live with my family. They're my real family in my heart. But the backstory was my mother was a home health aide for their brother that passed away. And after that, we became family. We was locked in. They used to come and get me all the time. That's my blood. Can't nobody tell me no different at this point. But no shade. R.I.P. to my auntie Ursula. They were ghetto. They were very, very ghetto. And that was right up my ghetto alley around that time because I was a little hood rat too. So, boom, I go down there. I'm still being grown. I'm still doing fuck shit. I was getting suspended from school every other day. And I had met this girl named, we gotta make up names. I had met this girl named, what am I name her? Fuck it, I can't think of no made up names, so we just gonna keep it true. I had met Sierra and Joy in high school. I started hanging out with them. I was more so closer to Sierra than I was to Joy, but Joy was Sierra's best friend. So we all clicked up, and don't get me wrong, even when I think back, we had fucking fun. We used to have a ball. But I had linked up with them, and I was being bad. I was climbing out the window, going to the club at night. Shout out to New Vibe, right down the road. I had some times in there. I was just being bad or whatever. So the people I was living with, my grandmother, rest in peace to her too, Grandma Shirley, she kicked me out. She was like, you know what? You came up here and you're supposed to be doing better. You're not doing no better. You're actually doing worse. Your mother, I kind of was manipulating my mother into being they just crazy. I'm not that bad or whatever. And my mother, keep it 100, my mother wasn't coming down there to check on me or if I was lying or not. So she just didn't want the problem. She was like, all right, whatever. She just going to believe me. So she kicked me out. Now, mind you, I had met, through, sneaking and geeking or whatever, I had met Sierra's cousin. Like I said, we're going to keep it real here. I had met Sierra's cousin named Maurice. Maurice was in his 20s, I think mid-20s around that time. Mind you, I'm 16. So he started, picking me up from school, I guess courting me, but kind of grooming, now that I'm thinking about it. He was a grown-ass man. So once my mom kicked me out, I had moved in with Sierra's aunt. Shout out to her too, because she did look out for me. She didn't have to take me in. She ain't know me from a hole in the wall. Not somebody at my door. My bad too. I said my mom's. When my grandmother had kicked me out, I had moved in with Sierra's aunt. And guess who was staying there too? Maurice. So I was a hot, fast ass. Now, like, when you think of things back in your grown mind of what you were doing now, what you were doing then, I was a hot ass because Maurice, clearly he had a baby mother that he was clearly with. But honestly, in my head, it's like I was taking Maurice serious, but I wasn't taking Maurice serious because I'm 16. I'm still talking to the young boys. Like, me and Sierra still ripping and running. We outside. So I was taking him serious, but I wasn't taking him serious. But it got to a point where I was around him so much that was my man. That's my man. We driving around all day in his baby mother's car, making runs, hitting plays. Him, like I said, we're going to keep it 100. His friend Ash, me and Joy. It used to be me, Joy, Maurice, and Ash. Sierra was with us sometimes, but most of the time Sierra was like, she wasn't really with riding around all day making runs. Me and Sierra was with that shit. So me and Sierra used to be in there getting high with them, getting tipsy, going to Columbia, going to other towns. Oh, and I was in South Carolina, if I didn't say that before. I was living in South Carolina, Summerton, South Carolina, to be exact. So my mom still had contact with me or whatever, and she was still sending me bread or whatever. But on holidays, I would go back to New York because, I had to make appearances. Because keep it 100, my family in New York really didn't know where I was at. And I be like low-key holding a grudge because I'm like, damn, nobody was like checking for me. Like, hey, where did Denisha just disappear to for like years? Like, nobody really was like really locked in with me. And then my father lived in North Carolina. So my father, when I first got there, maybe like the first couple of months I was in South Carolina, he would drive from North Carolina to South Carolina to get me on the weekends and stuff. But then out of nowhere, he just stopped coming, no calls, no nothing like that. And me dealing with my abandonment issues and shit, I felt like, oh, he just don't want to see me no more. Like, okay. Coming to find out, he was locked up. He got locked up by the feds, and he ended up doing 10 years. So this is when I really started wilding, when my father just stopped coming to get me. So I really was just using my time just to fuck up. So boom, I go to New York for the holiday. I come back. When I come back, Joy is telling us how she's pregnant. But Joy was a hoe. Not gonna lie. And I was a hoe too, but Joy was like a real hoe. So she had said some other nigga was her baby father that she was sneaking and geeking with. So this whole time, when she's saying she's pregnant, me and Sierra is thinking that it's the other older guy that she's messing with. So mind you, once the other older guy gets a whiff of Joy telling everybody that she pregnant by him, his baby moms finds out, and she starts coming up to our complex, trying to fight Joy. Me and Sierra taking up for Joy, like, nah, you're not fighting her, like, was getting into mad shit. And it all culminated when we had went and met the dude at, I don't even know what it was. It was like some barn or something that we had ran up on the nigga, and we was all cursing him out. And when I tell you that man cursed me cold out, like, no, New Yorkers, we got a slick mouth, but down south, when they curse you out, it's different. Like, they curse you out real different. When I tell you that man read me my rights, and I got my dumb ass right back in that car and was like, Joy, you got this one. But before that, me, Sierra, because Sierra was I ain't gonna hold you, Sierra was standing on 10. Sierra was trying to fight him, like, all that. Like, we going hard because we like, stop trying to play our friend. Like, she pregnant by you. The fuck? Now, no shade, I'm kind of ed now that I'm thinking about it, because Maurice started wanting to fight the guy. Now, mind you, I'm not that ed because I'm thinking he's just on some protective shit because he's always hanging out with me and Joy. So I'm thinking like he just being on some, it's another man, step to me. So, but in retrospect, he was really protecting his pussy. But boom, that happens. Joy's pregnant, whatever. So what happened with me is it was another holiday had came around and I was supposed to go back up to New York. But you know how them small towns is down south, like it's like only one bus station and the bus leaves like 2 times a day. If you don't catch the bus when it leaves one of them 2 times, you gotta wait the next day to get another bus. So it so happened that I think Maurice's car wasn't working or whatever, so we couldn't get to the bus station. So I'm telling my mom's like, I'm gonna have to try to find a ride or whatever to get to the bus station. I missed today's bus because Maurice's car is broken down. Now, mind you, my mother is a crash out. Always been a crash out, still is a crash out, whether she want to admit it or not. So my mother, as soon as I tell her that, is like, oh, bitch, you trying to be grown out there. I let you leave Shirley house and now you think you grown. You think you going to tell me when you coming up here, I done paid for that bus ticket. Oh, bitch, all right, watch this. So I remember Sierra and them was kind of like scared because my mother was talking crazy. But I'm so used to my mom's talking to me like that I was like, oh, whatever. I'm not paying her no mind. Like, she's all the way in New York. What are you really going to do? Like, mind you, some time had passed by this time. So I'm 17 at this time. So why this lady called the cops on me, sent them to the house and told them that I was a runaway, that I was from New York and I ran away down there and I was a runaway and was telling them to lock me up. So the cops come to the crib. Maurice dipped. Yeah, I bet he did. That he dips. The cops come to the crib or whatever. They asking, they saying, my mother's on the phone with them. I hear her like cursing, saying, oh yeah, she a runaway. So I'm like, I'm a runaway. I'm like, I'm enrolled in school. How am I running? How does a runaway enroll themselves in school? I'm showing them my school ID, and then I'm showing them, because I had a phone, I'm showing them in my phone her number, 917, all through my shit. I'm in 803. I'm showing them 917 all through my phone. I'm like, I just talked to her. I talked to her on a regular. She knows where I'm at. I'm not a runaway. So they kind of see, like, cops check temperature. So they see that I'm calm. Everybody else in there in the house are kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, everybody's confused. And my mother is the only one crashing out. So they asked me, they like, how old are you? I'm like, I'm 17. So they're like, oh, you're an adult. In South Carolina at 17, you're an adult. So they're like, oh, well, we can't do anything anyway. She's an adult. She's not a runaway. She's showing us she in school, blah, blah, blah. They go, they leave. So I'm on hots because I'm like, yo, you try to get me locked up in South Carolina. Mind you, my mother did not come down here to see me one time. She didn't know where I was living, how I was living, where I was at, like if it was like nothing. So it's like, you're trying to get me locked up in South Carolina because I missed the bus? Are you dumb? So after that, I'm on some rebel shit. Like now, I'm like, okay, now I'm about to act like a runaway. My mother had gave me a bank card that, had money on it or whatever. So I had access to money while I was down there or whatever. Baby, I took that card and I cashed everything out. Everything that was in that bank account. It wasn't much. It was like, I think $300. It wasn't nothing crazy. But I took all the money out of there. And me and Sierra and Maurice and Joy all went on a road trip to Florida because he's from Florida. So we went to see his family in Florida on my dime. Dumb. So when we go to Florida, we go and meet his sister. RIP to his sister too. She was funny as hell. She was mad cool. Like, she was wild cool. But we went and met his sister, and we met his brother. RIP to him too. His brother passed away too. We met his brother, and we had a funky good time. We had a good time. That was the first time I got drunk off Cisco. Cisco days. But yeah, we had a good time, and then we came back to South Carolina. When we came back from South Carolina, that's when everything hit the fan, because that's when I found out that I was pregnant too. Now, I should have known something, because when I told Maurice I was pregnant, well, not really, because of course he's going to be upset. You get a 17-year-old pregnant and you're in your mid-20s. Like, of course you're going to be like, oh shit. And you have a whole baby mom's that's really your girl. So, yeah, he was a little upset, but it wasn't the reaction. And my 17-year-old mind, because we were so locked in my head and we're spending every day together and I'm doing everything with him, I'm thinking like he's going to be excited. He's going to be excited that I'm pregnant. Wrong. So boom, I might be getting the timeline mixed up a little bit, because what had happened was his sister, well, his other baby mom from, I think she was from New York too, had came up to visit at one point too with his other daughter. And she was kind of saying slick shit, but I wasn't catching it. Like, she was like saying things like, yeah, Maurice is a slick nigga. Yeah, he be with the young. Like, she was saying things to hint at what was going on, but it was like just going completely over my head. Like, I was just completely delusional. I had not a clue what was going on around me. So his sister had came up from Florida to visit or whatever. We had a good time or whatever. I had a fight that weekend when she came too with a whole nother girl. That's a whole nother story. Anyway, the last day his sister was there, his sister was like, you need to be put on. They need to put you on. And in front of she's in front of everybody saying this. And she's like, and if they don't put you on before I leave, I'm going to tell you myself. Before I leave New York, before I leave back to Florida, I'm telling you what's going on around here. So I'm still, because I'm like, okay, I don't know what you're talking about, but okay. So boom, we all get in the car and she brings us to like a field. I remember it. It was like dirt roads. Now in retrospect that I think about it, she brung us somewhere to fight. Now that I think about it, because it was like an open field that she brung us to tell us tell me what was going on. But now that I think about it, it was somewhere for us to fight. I need to cut water for this part. So she basically was like, Joy, tell her. So the sister and Sierra are in the front seat, me and Joy are in the back seat. So she's like, go ahead, Joy, tell her. So I'm like, tell me what? So Joy is like, oh, I'm not pregnant by such and such. I'm pregnant by Maurice. Come again? So she's like, yeah, I'm pregnant by Maurice. Now, one thing I will say, looking back then, I don't know how much of it was them trying to be girls or them just wanting to see some shit for real, because that's really an insensitive way to tell. Well, even though honestly that probably was my karma, because I'm creeping around with a grown man that has a woman, and I was doing a lot of shady ass shit too, being in that lady car. So that in retrospect, that was my karma for doing the grimy shit that I was doing. But I got to give myself grace because I was only 16, 17 going through this. So I was in shock. Like, I honestly, it felt like an out-of-body experience. Like, I didn't know what to do, what to say. And I think they were automatically thinking I was just going to, just charge at her. But I honestly just sat there looking dumb for mad long. And I was just like, okay. Because another thing about me, too, when I feel like motherfuckers is trying to get a show out of me, because I did kind of feel that vibe when it first happened, because it wasn't giving any sympathy from my perspective. It wasn't giving any sympathy from Sierra and the sister. It was giving like, wait for it, like they wanted a show type shit. So I was kind of like, I played it cool, like, oh, okay. But I still was like kind of like in disbelief. But I just wanted to hurry up and get back to the house to talk to Maurice. So they didn't get what they want. It wasn't no show. We didn't fight. Joy just sat there looking dumb. I sat back there looking dumb. And we just rolled back to the house. So when we rolled back to the house, Maurice, I really forgot, honestly, this part. Like, I don't remember. I think Maurice was in the house because around that time, his mother ended up losing the apartment that we were at. So we were in the process of moving from Maurice's mother's house to Maurice's grandmother's house. So it was a lot going on. And I think he was just like like moving stuff and just like moving past me real fast or whatever, so that he didn't have to like face what was going on. But I went into a really, really, really bad depression because after that, because I really thought, I felt like everybody around me is fake. Like, I just like went into a shell of myself. Like, I didn't show any reaction. But I was really depressed because I really was just in my own head. I remember I went in the bathroom for mad long and I just cried, bawled my eyes out, because at this point I felt like, damn, I kind of burned all my bridges. I done took the bread from my mother. My mother's not fucking with me. My family in New York don't even kind of know where I'm at. And if my family, like, they don't know where I'm at or what's going on with me. I done burned the bridge with my grandmother and Ursula and them because I left their house to come over here. And now the girls that I'm thinking is my family, is my friends, is my ride or dies, one is fucking my man, and then the other one knew that both of us was fucking her cousin, didn't tell me, and that was waiting for me to put on a show to see us fight. Oh yeah, I forgot to mention that the whole time when I'm living with Sierra's aunt, which is Maurice's mother, Joy is living with us too. So it's me, Sierra, Joy, Sierra's aunt, Maurice's mother, and Maurice. We all living in a 2-bedroom apartment. If y'all want part 2, I'm gonna see how this one do, and I'll give y'all part 2 because it's a lot more how the pregnancy went, what happened after. Like, it's a lot more to this motherfucking story. How our motherfuckers tried to kill me. Like, it's a lot more. So if y'all want part 2, let me see how this one do. Let me know if y'all want part 2, because there's a lot more to this story. And I forgot to mention how Joy was living with us too. It was me, Sierra's aunt, Maurice's mother, Joy, and Maurice. We was all living in the same apartment. It was a 2-bedroom apartment. Don't ask how we was all staying in there. But we all were living in the same apartment. And Maurice is dead now too. They add that into the story. So if y'all want a story time part 2, trust me, it's a lot more. We're gonna see how this one though. So ask and y'all shall receive, as I said in the comments, part 2 to how me and my so-called best friend got pregnant at the same time by a grown-ass R. Kelly nigga at 17. So give me grace with this, y'all, because I've been trying. I did not expect for the video to get any kind of traction. Like, if y'all see on my page, my shit barely get any traction. So I'm just more so was venting on a drunk night on one of these, like I got now. And I didn't really think my shit was going to get traction. But now are they fighting? Sorry, I'm nosy, y'all. But anyway, I didn't really expect for us to get traction. So I'm really having to chronologically remember everything to put this shit in order for it to make sense to y'all. So I'm a little fuzzy with the confrontation with Maurice, because I do remember that Maurice, after that, low-key type ghosted me. Like, the nigga was doing the moving from his mother's shit or whatever, and then, like, after that, he type low-key ghosted me. And this is shout out to the girl in the comment that was giving Sierra and her sister grace, because like I said, RIP to my girl. Afterwards, when they seen how like really fucked up I was behind it, the sister stayed longer than she was to go to back to Florida, because I had for a couple of days I had paid for Econo Lodge. If you know, you know. Econo Lodge back then, there's a little Motel 6 down south. I had stayed in a Econo Lodge for a couple of days after that, just because I just wanted to isolate. I wanted to be alone, and they definitely stayed with me. I wasn't eating. Like, I was literally not sleeping. I had stayed up for a couple of days, and they were with me, and they were trying to get me to eat, like giving me like reaffirming words and shit like that. They had my back, because they genuinely felt bad. So I don't think they knew before I knew, but they had to find out like really close to when I found out type shit, because they felt bad genuinely for me. This is another thing with telling these stories. Like, when I retell this shit and realize how dumb I was back then, but it's like I'm trying to give myself grace, but I was dumb as hell. Dumb as hell. Because why one night, right? I fucking go to the pool area of the Econo Lodge. I had a bottle. I remember this. I had a bottle. I wanted to just get out of the room with Sierra and the sister or whatever, because I honestly, genuinely just wanted to be by myself, because I still was a little iffy with the trust part of it still. So I kind of wanted to be myself. So I went, this is at nighttime, I went to the pool side of the Econo Lodge with a bottle and was just sitting there and just, being with my thoughts. Y'all gonna think I'm making this up. I am not making this up. Why the fuck do I turn around and I see Joy coming out of a room with Maurice? Mind you, like I said, I have not gotten a chance to really confront Maurice about this shit, because he really ghosted me. So I seen them and I'm like, what the fuck? So I walk towards the room. Joy skedaddles, runs. She runs to a car and that car peels off. So now Maurice is there. Now this is where the confronting part comes, and I have to give my younger self grace, because I was so broken at that time that I didn't immediately go into, because I know when the comments are gonna be like, oh, I would have beat his ass, I would have been da-da-da-da. No, I was broken. So I literally, when I tried to run and get Joy ass. I'm not gonna lie. I definitely tried to run and get Joy ass, but she peeled off. So by the time I got to the steps and shit, I just sat on the steps and broke down and cried in front of him and was like, how could you do this to me? Like, how the fuck could you do this to me? Like, you got me going through it. I done dropped out of school at this point, because it was a small ass town and everybody in the town was hearing about what happened. So I'm embarrassed. So I done dropped out of school. So I'm just lost. He's sitting there trying to woo me like, oh, I'm sorry. Trying to hug me and shit. And I remember when he hugged me, that's when I kind of like got into fight mode with him, because I kind of was like punching him and hitting him. But my dumb ass, this is why I do not victim blame. And when they be telling them stories like, oh, how could you go back? Why the fuck did she go back? No, I ended up hugging him. He hugged me and I ended up hugging him and crying in his arms like, how could you do this to me? But I still was in love with that man. I still was in love with that grown-ass pedophile. Like, I can't front. So this is where the real dumb shit come in. Like, this is when it gets really sticky and dumb, right? So I start talking back to Maurice after that, because in my younger mind, and this is what bitches do, that y'all should never do this because y'all look like clowns. I'm thinking, okay, if he's back cool with me and I have him, Joy can't have him. So I'm a like put my foot down, like, yeah, like this is still my man. I'm still gonna have him or whatever. Stupid. So my dumbass after that goes to live with him in his grandmother's house on this little property she had, and she had a double wide connected to it. But guess who is living there too? Joy. Me, Sierra, Joy, and Maurice is living in his grandmother's house now, accompanied with a couple of children she had scattered in that house too. We're all living there. Now, I will say that Joy basically like stayed in a back room near the grandmother's room, and she barely came out of that room. Like when I was staying there, and mind you, this timeline of when I'm staying in his grandmother's house isn't long. It maybe was like a month or two, give it, that we were staying in his grandmother's house. But yeah, we were all staying in there together. Mind you, his grandmother is going off in there, because when me and Maurice is like, because we wouldn't sleep together because there wasn't no room in there, so we're sleeping in the fucking living room, and his grandmother would go off in tangents where she would be like, oh, whoremongers and all this whoremongering in my house, and she would be talking cast shit about me. But I'm gonna, like I said, I felt like I had burned all my bridges at that time, and it kind of gave like, this is all, like, Maurice is all I have, like my saving grace type shit. So I gotta stomach all this because I'm feeling like I don't have nowhere else to go. Also, a lot of the time, his uncle had a double wide trailer next to it that had no fucking running water or AC or anything. And it's in the summertime in South Carolina. It's hot as fuck. But for the most part, not to hear his grandmother's mouth, me and him were staying in the double wide for a lot of the time. Ugh, this is so... I was so fucking dumb, bro. So in the midst of this, I get back in contact with my mother, and I didn't tell her anything that I was going through though. Like, I didn't tell her anything I was going through, but I still had to make appearances. So I went back up there for another holiday to visit, and when I went back up there, I told my New York friends that I was pregnant. Now, no funny shit, when I think about my reaction of my New York friends now in my older mind, they were giving, bitch, you're tripping. You're gonna fucking keep a baby by some old ass country nigga. Like, what are you even talking about? But since me and Maurice had got to back together, I had thought like I won the nigga. So I'm just telling the story with my whole chest, like, yeah, and now me and Maurice together, and I'm gonna have my baby, and they're like, so is she gonna have the baby too? Like, what are you talking about? Like, they were looking at me like I was batshit crazy, as they should, because I was. But I remember one night I was at one of my friend's house, and her stepfather overheard me telling her about my pregnancy. And her stepfather knows my mother. And that nigga looked me dead in my eyes, and he said, does your mother know that you're pregnant? And I was like, no. And he was like, you should think about getting rid of that, because your mother's going to kill you. And I was like, you know what? Because no funny shit. I know everybody else is like, well, what did you think about? What was your mother going to say? I was so far removed from my mother because at that point I was only seeing her in the interactions where I came back to New York. And when I came up to New York, she kind of was given a facade, like a storyline of what was going on down there. And I was sticking to that I don't know why in my head I wasn't connecting, like, what is your mother going to do when she finds out you're pregnant, bitch? Because at that point I had stole her little money and all that. And I'm like, I'm feeling myself. Like, I'm like, what's she going to do? But then when he said that and when he looked me in my eyes, I said, oh yeah. Dumb teenager. You're not even thinking that far apart. You're not even thinking that far down the line. Yeah, your mother's gonna fucking kill you. So boom, now the reality is setting in. My mom's gonna kill me if I'm pregnant. So what had ended up happening is one of my other best friends, I'm not gonna even put her name in there, one of my New York best friends was pregnant too. So when I came to the telling the recollection, like, nah, I ain't gonna hold you. I might have to get rid of this because my mom's is probably gonna wild out on me. Like, so she like, girl, I'm pregnant too. Like, yeah, I'm trying to get rid of it too. So what we gonna do? So this when 349 came into action. If anybody from New York, for the Bronx, you know what 349 is. Planned Parenthood. This is where you could get an abortion. You didn't have to tell your parents. They wouldn't tell them or anything. It was free. Go up there, chop shop. So me and my best friend go to the chop shop. We get that done. Mind you, I'm not even telling Maurice that I'm gonna go get this done because I'm still I'm still communicating with him on the phone and all that. We speaking every day or whatever. I'm still communicating with him, but I never told him that I was gonna get an abortion because I felt like he was gonna talk me out of it or something. And now when we had got back together or whatever, then that's when he was acting excited about having a baby. Like, oh no, we gonna have a baby together. I'm gonna figure this out. We gonna get out of my grandmother's house. Telling me all kind of bullshit, giving me a fairy tale story. Never was a fairy tale. So I ain't gonna lie. It was a part where I kind of wanted to tell my moms because I got really sad about it. And we had went to a Dominican salon, and I was getting a washing set. And I remember this vividly. I was sitting under the dryer, and I was telling her, like, I don't know if I want to go back down south. And she was like, why? And I couldn't tell her why, because I didn't want to tell her everything that my dumb, bad ass is doing down there. So I didn't tell her. I was just like, I don't want to go back. Like, and I started like tearing up. When I tell you this lady did not give a fuck, she looked at me and I can't, like, in retrospect, thinking back, I was so manipulative back then. I was lying. She didn't know as much as she, should have known. And also, but to give grace, you my mom. You supposed to dig for that. And you kind of supposed to know this, because I'm 17 at this time. So you're supposed to kind of be digging for this information. But she didn't know, and she was like, oh, you think you slick? You think you about to come back up here and being grown and shit down here, up here? No, you're going back down there. So I'm like, damn, bitch, I tried to, just give my soul to you. I just tried to relate to you, and you just shut my shit down. Okay, well, back to lying. Now, Sierra, on the other hand, wasn't no chop shop for her. She kept that motherfucking baby. Kept that baby. And again, I'm back down south. But at this point, his mother had got another house. This is in another town now. Like, I'm not in Somerton anymore. I'm in another town of South Carolina that's like kind of far removed from Somerton. Like, we're in the boondocks. So he talks his mother into letting me live there. But when I lived there, it was just me and his mom's and his I don't want to be telling all her business, but God rest her soul. The mother had custody of a lot of his sister's kids, because his sister had a lot of kids. So 3 of her kids were living with the mother. So she had custody of 3 of the kids. So it was me, 3 of her kids, Maurice, and now his mother, that are living in another town in South Carolina. So at this point, I'm removed. Like, I'm in isolation. I don't know what's going on. I didn't have no more communication with Sierra like that. I didn't communicate with anybody. I was literally alone in that small town with no car, no way to get around, just in the house every day watching the kids. And my saving grace, and I forgot her name, but shout out to her. Like, I wish I really did have contact with her, because it was an older lady that lived next door to us that I would go to her house every day and talk about what was going on. And she would give me real ass advice. And she hated Maurice. Anytime Maurice, because mind you, he leaving me at this point. He's going back and forth back to Somerton, doing whatever he doing, probably having a full-blown relationship with Joy, doing whatever he doing, and coming back to me like at night at this point. Like, he's just doing whatever he doing in the day, coming back to me at his mother's house. And I'm just at the mother's house, just being a babysitter, being a fucking living pussy and a living babysitter at this point. So a messy part had happened because I kind of got bored and I got tired of being in there and not really knowing what he was doing. So I ain't gonna lie, my messy ass, and this was so dumb because she didn't really have nothing to do with it. Like, that's why in my grown age, I never stepped to a woman about nothing. Step to that nigga. Step to that man, because he's the one manipulating, lying, doing all that. You don't go to no woman about nothing. But back then, I didn't know no better. So I found his baby mother's number in his mother's phone. And I dialed it, and I kind of I didn't say nothing, but I let my voice be heard in the background. So she kind of knew I was out there. Because I felt like he was going back, still trying to be a family with his baby moms. And I want to rattle some shit up. Like, I want her to know I'm still out here. Because mind you, at this point, I had found out that her and Joy are cool. Like, she's kind of accepting the fact that Joy's having another baby. They having family time. Like, I heard through the grapevine, like, they just all cool. This kumbaya. Mind you, I feel like Maurice was punishing me too, because he did curse me out for having that abortion. Like, he ripped into me, was calling me a killer, a murderer, was saying I'm a fucking terrible woman, and what kind of woman am I? Why would he want to be with me? And I did that to his kid. Boy, please. You're going, the fucking audacity of you to have morals now. Now you have morals, nigga. So once the BM had heard me in the background or whatever, and then why did your pussy ass do this anyway, Denisha? Because you knew you, like, I wasn't even about that life, so why are you trying to start shit and you can't finish it? Shorty pulled up to his mom's crib, like, and caught us. We was in his car, and we was talking, and then she pulled up. But then she pulls up, and guess who's in the passenger seat with her? This is why I'm telling y'all in the comments, as much as y'all trying to give Sierra grace, she kind of was never my friend. Like, she might have been my friend in a point in it, but she was there for the mess. She was there for the tea, for the action. Because the baby mom pulls up, and guess who's in the passenger seat with her? Sierra. And she came to the car. She starts kicking the car or whatever. I locked the door. I ain't gonna lie. I was kind of being on my, bitch. You thought I was going. I'm still here. Yeah, I'm around. Like, yeah, you trying to be cool with Joy. No, I'm still around too. Boo-boo. And I ain't got to keep no baby to still be around. I'm still around. Like, that was dumb. But that's my mindset at that time. But I'm still looking pussy, bitch, because you're not getting out the car. Like, you're still pussy because you're dead not getting out the car to fight. But you just, like, boo-boo. But, girl, I'm going to really beat you up. She was a big bitch, too. I ain't going to lie. She was a big lady. I didn't want none of that smoke, but I just wanted to make my presence known type shit. So that happens. He kind of was an abuser, too, because he kind of, like, beat her up, like, a little bit and put her back in the car and told her to go the fuck home. And that's exactly what she did. She got her ass in that car and drove the fuck home. But since she knew I was there, now she's terrorizing me. As the fuck she should, bitch. That's what you wanted, right? That's what you wanted, Denisha, right? You wanted people to know you here? Okay, now she know you here. Now she's terrorizing me. She's just showing up at the house random times. So I remember one time she showed up at the house, and me and Maurice is literally getting it on his mother's couch. And she looked through the window and seen us getting it popping. Not gonna lie. So she sees us getting it popping in the window, and she's damn near broke that window and that door. Like I said, that was a big bitch. She damn near broke that window and that door trying to get in that house. And Maurice was scared too, because that nigga didn't even like run out there to do something. I ain't gonna lie, for a little minute he was scared. We both was in there scared. We both was scared. We was in there scared as fuck. So then he finally goes out there and like is trying to, like, I guess calm her down or whatever. And they drive off together. So I'm like, what the fuck? So he comes back. It started raining. I remember he came back walking. He's soaked and wet. He comes back walking. He comes in the house. He's pissed. He's like, this is all your fucking fault. You wanted to call her and that. Now she coming out here harassing because he's stressed now because you're grown man, R. Kelly ass, and got 2 little girls pregnant. Well, I got rid of my baby. But now you got to deal with all of the aftermath of all these women and these girls that you done manipulated now. Like, so now he's stressed. So he cursing me the fuck out. I remember this the first time he put his hands on me because he yoked me up by my neck, feet off the floor in his mother's room, and choked the fuck out of me till I damn near passed out. That's not funny. Like, that part's not funny at all. He didn't choke me out until I damn near passed out. Hey y'all, just calling y'all back or whatever. Nah, part 3, and we gonna wrap this shit on up, all right? But I want to say before that, shout out to all the females that are in my inbox that are giving me uplifting words, that, you know, I really genuinely appreciate that, because I ain't gonna hold y'all. At first, this story time was me being drunk off cut water and being like, you know what? I feel like saying some shit. You know, I feel like telling my business a little bit. So I wasn't expecting anything to come of it, but I really appreciate y'all ladies. Cheers. Alright, so boom. We back together. And I ain't gonna lie, nothing lasts forever. Nobody stays dumb for too long. After that, me and him were really like going through it because I was getting fed up. I'm fucking 17 and I'm used to being outside. Even though down south wasn't giving New York vibes, I was used to being outside, going out, doing things or whatever. And this nigga got me trapped in the fucking house all day, and I'm babysitting his sister's kids damn near all day. His mother is going to work, and then when she coming from work, she kind of going out too, doing her own thing. So I'm just in the house all day. Outside of going next door, I'm literally not doing shit. So me and him is beefing. Like, I'm starting to, get a backbone. I'm starting to curse him out. I'm starting to, want more. Like, all right, boom. This is a funny story, right? You know what made me be like, yo, I'm getting the fuck out of here? Why the fuck? This is when Fresh as I'm Is with Bow Wow came out. And I had a major crush on Bow Wow. And mind you, I'm from New York. So when I first came down there, no shade, them niggas was corny to me. Like, they dressed corny, they talked weird. Like, the only reason Maurice got me is because he was older, he had a little money. Wasn't really no money now. Like, when I think now to back then, it wasn't really no money. But, he had more money than the little 16, 17-year-olds that I was fucking with. And he had a little charisma about him and shit, and niggas was scared of him. So that's why I, gravitated to him. But it was not giving what it's supposed to give. And when I seen that video, I said, look at Bow Wow fine ass. I want to go back to New York with some fine shit. Like, I have, my fucking time has come. Like, I'm done with this shit. Like, it's done. And I remember one fight me and him had that really, outside of me seeing the Bow Wow video, I remember one fight we had, and he was like, oh, everybody's laughing at you. I'm the only one that's there for you, that takes up for you. Sierra is telling everybody how you a punk and you ain't never get out the car. My family is all laughing at you, saying, oh, you got that little punk girl up there staying at your mother's house. Like, I'm the only one taking up for you. And you coming at me, da-da-da-da. And I was like, Sierra and them are talking about me like that? Like, I was hurt because even though I still had a trust issue with Sierra, like, I feel she did shit that I should have been like, that's not really my friend. I still had trust issues, but I still, like, thought she had my back a little bit. Like, I still thought that was my friend. So to hear, like, that's how I was being talked about, and everybody's talking crazy about me, I felt, again, like, now I'm feeling like, Maurice, you not my saving grace either. You is just as much as the problem as you are the problem, actually. I can't trust nobody. I need to be around some love. I need to be around people that I feel like care about me. And all of that was back in New York. And I ain't gonna lie, Maurice was getting mad at me because the girl next door, she had a son that ended up moving back over there. And I ain't gonna lie, he was fine shit. And he was around my age. And he used to, I think his mom's used to tell him, like, go over there and talk to that young girl. Y'all the same age. She need to talk to somebody her age. So he used to be coming over there, and me and him used to sit in the front porch, and we used to be talking. And like twice, Maurice pulled up, and I was talking to him in the front porch, and he all like, what the fuck you doing? That would cause a fight too. It's like, the fuck you doing in that boy face? And in that boy face, nigga, he's my age. Like, we're both kids. Like, I should be talking to a nigga his age. So I think Maurice ass was tired of me too, because he probably like, this little bitch probably going next door fucking on that little boy. I should have. I didn't though, but he was tired of my ass too. So I was ready to go. He was ready for me to go. Yeah, it's over. It's time to go. So I called my mom's, and I'm like, the jig is up at this point, because she was telling my family in New York that I was in school doing well, that she's gearing up to have me stay down there longer, because she's telling them I'm thinking about going to college out there. So I'm like, skirt, girl, we gotta. This plan has to end. Like at this point, like with this storyline. Sorry, boo, it has to end because I'm ready to come back home. Like I told her, I can't stay out here no more. They don't want me out here. I don't have anywhere to go at this point. Ursula and Miss Shirley, I could have went back over there, but I was telling her like, no, I don't want to be down south anymore. Like I want to come home. Like girl, at this point, you done got rid of me long enough. You done had a break long enough. I want to come back home. So she was like, all right, girl, well, come on back home. So I packed my stuff. Maurice drove me to the joint, and that nigga wasn't sad about me leaving either. That's why I said the shit had run its course because he wasn't sad, I wasn't sad. It was just like a little hug, like tap tap tap. All right, nice knowing you, nigga. Well, actually, I'm lying. He still made it seem like, oh, we still gonna be together. I'm gonna come up to New York or whatever. Nigga was never coming to New York. Fuck you talking about? But I'm agreeing to it. Like, I'm like, oh, yeah, you could come up. Yeah, you're going to come up to New York, and then we'll figure it out in New York. Yeah, let us move to New York together. Lies. I'm lying through my motherfucking teeth, nigga. Deuces. Like, I'm never going to see you again. I already knew in my head, like, boy, it's clipped. I'm never going to see your old ass again. And I never did. I got on the first thing smoking back to New York, and I never looked back. That was the end of that saga. But all right, now let me follow y'all up to where everybody is now. So Sierra is doing her thing. I ain't gonna lie, she went to college. She is like I think she's like a teacher or something now. She's doing her thing. Me and her did talk on Facebook and like hash everything out, and me and her were cool. Maurice's sister had passed away. Like I said, R.I.P. to her. She had cancer. She passed away a couple of years ago. R.I.P. to her because she was really cool. I already had said that Maurice's father, Maurice's brother had passed away too, but that was like kind of when I was down there. He got murdered. Yeah, R.I.P. to him too. That was sad. My aunt Ursula, my grandma Shirley had passed away. My grandma Shirley had just passed away at old age. She was really old. And my aunt Ursula had a heart attack 2 years ago. Is it 2 years now? I think like 2 years ago she had a heart attack and she passed away. I'm close with her daughter now. Her daughter came up here and she lives in New York, and I watch after her daughter. That's my baby. That's my girl. So yeah, R.I.P. to Miss Shirley and Ursula. Now to the main two culprits. Joy ass ended up having like 5 kids by 5 different niggas. She ended up going to the crazy house. She don't got custody of none of her kids. Even Maurice's kid. She ended up going to the crazy house for a minute. And while she was in the crazy house, Sierra told me that she had confessed to the psychiatrist and the people that she was talking to that she tried on 2 separate occasions to kill me and Sierra. Sierra didn't get in details on how she tried to kill her, but she tried to kill me, and I remember this vividly, and y'all remember this if this ever happened to y'all, right? It was a Sprite bottle. And this is before I guess she knew she was pregnant by Maurice, but this is before I even got pregnant. This is when we all still cool and still hanging out. I had a Sprite bottle on the counter or whatever. I left it there. I came back to it. When I came back to drink it, I looked at it and it looked like it was detergent in it or something. Like it looked funny or whatever. So I looked at it and I like threw it away like, oh, I don't know what the fuck is going on with this. Come to find out, that bitch put bleach or Clorox. She put some type of shit in my drink and was trying to get me to drink it to fucking off me. Like, and I'm thinking it's my friend the whole time. And I'm telling y'all, I can't make this shit up. I got receipts. I'm about to put the receipts right after this so y'all can see. She really tried to kill me and Sierra. Because this had all came out because Years later, she was on Facebook or something, and she tried to get in my comments and act like we was cool. Bitch, what? I bombed her ass. Like, I went crazy on her ass. And then she jumped in the DM to Sierra. Well, she jumped in the DM with me too, and I cursed her the fuck out again. And I said, come up top. Because now I want that. I want my minutes now. I was a little pussy back then. I was a little scary. You know, I felt like I ain't have nobody. But come outside now. Come to New York. And finally, Maurice. I really didn't keep up with Maurice too much, but towards like in the last 5 years or something, he had added me on Facebook, and he reached out to me initially to tell me when his sister passed. But then after that, he would be like under my comments all the time, like, oh, saying, oh, how good I still look and all this, that, and the third. I paid him dust, but I kept him there because I wanted him to see the glow up. I wanted to see, you ain't make or break me, baby. Like, I'm outside. I look good. I'm flourishing. Like, yeah, I want you to see this. But last year, I think this was last year. Last year, he ended up getting into a car accident and he passed away. Now, regardless of, you know, I know I'm talking shit in the story or whatever, and what he did was wrong. I don't want to see nobody pass away before their time. So that was sad. I sent my condolences, and yeah, RIP to him. And that's all, folks. Now, you know, I'm 38 and thriving. I go on trips every year. I have good friends and family around me. Oh, me and my mother are cool. Like, I ain't gonna lie, this story time, if anybody sent it to her, she gonna know everything through the story time, because I have not told her the intricate details of everything that happened. Actually, when I went to New York, I literally acted like that shit did not happen. Like, we didn't talk about nothing. It was just business as usual. To my family, they thought I was down there, that I graduated high school, that I went to some college or something. Like, I was thinking about going to college. Bitch, that should never happen. I dropped out in the 11th grade. I never went back. I got my GED eventually, but I never finished school. But my whole family in New York just thought I finished school. They went with whatever storyline my mother gave them. But yeah, what a time. And honestly, let me know. This page might turn into a motherfucking story time page, because I got stories for days. Because honestly, I think my next story time might be when I told y'all that his sister came up from Florida and I had a fight that weekend she was there. Yeah, I might give that story time, because that bitch tried to run me over with her car. Like, it was a lot with that. I cut myself. Like, it was a lot with that. So yeah, I might give that story time next. Let me know in the comments. Bye.
Okay, now as adults, we have now grown up to like look back at stuff and be like, what? Why did you do that? Or why didn't you do that? But you guys, in this story, she definitely was very immature. And that's good that eventually she came around and was like, look, this is not where I'm supposed to be. He's playing with me. She's really not my friend. Like, I'm not usually happy that people getting rid of their child, but in this case, like, it probably was for her own good, because she would have been trapped in chaos the whole time, like, after having a baby, 18 more years with this type of drama. People popping up at the house, him still playing back and forth between you, your friend, and the baby mama. Like, too much was going on in this situation. I'm glad she moved forward and decided to go back home with her mother, because that's who she should have listened to in the first place, even though her mother was doing a little too extra. But maybe her mother was trying to teach her a lesson that, girl, he's not for you. They're not for you. Stop hanging with them. And just because she wanted to do it, the mother wanted her to make her own decision, and then, you know, basically put her hand on the stove even though it was hot on her own, so she can know that this is not what you want to do. So you guys, drop down in the comment section what you think about this story. Don't forget to like, comment, share this video if you are new here. If you're not, subscribe to this channel and join the family. I hope you all have a blessed day.